Here's our Turbo 400. Here's that big 32 spline output shaft. So I've got a 3200 B&M stall. The bolt pattern is like a Turbo 350, but I've got a FLEXPLATE that I'm running on my IS300. It's made to bolt onto an LS, but it's got the bolt pattern of a Turbo 350. So yeah, this will work fine for that. I've got some AN transcooler fittings. It's got a governor delete. It's something called a dual feed mod. Basically, it's got twice the clamping power on the clutch packs that it usually does, which basically like doubles the torque capacity of this thing. This is a Turbo 400, if I didn't mention that already, short tail shaft. The 4060 is like just barely longer. So I'm hoping that longer yoke can make up for it. And also being a two-piece drive shaft, this yoke actually has some slip. So if that 1 inch longer yoke isn't good enough, I could extend this portion just a hair. I mean, we're just talking maybe half an inch. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. This is the first step of getting this Turbo 400 in this truck. So if you've never messed with a Chevy U-joint, it's filled with like this nylon gunky stuff, and you have to heat it up until it melts internally, and then when it melts, it expands and then shoots out of there. Kind of looks like a string of spaghetti when it does. But yeah, I gotta swap over yokes because I got a longer one for the Turbo 400. The Turbo 400 is about an inch or so shorter, so I got a yoke that's about an inch longer to hopefully make up the difference. This one's just a little bit longer, and it's got the same, hopefully same U-joint as this, so I can use my stock drive shaft, but we'll see. Do it. There's one side. We're going to do the other side. Still smoky hot. How much bigger the 400 one is than the 4060. So it's like an inch longer. I'm hoping that's going to be good enough to line up.
That one's way bigger.
Now, I gotta hope this one fits in here.
Because you could see that one is way more thick than that one.
So this is the same for a 400 or a 4L80.
That one's way bigger. The inside.
All right, here we go. It is fully installed. Clips are in there. It is about an inch longer, like I said. I think the 4060 and like turbo 350, the 27 spline, your turbo 400, 4L80 is going to be a 32 spline. It's a lot bigger. Anyways, yeah, this is basically step one of this swap. All right, we've got our tired all 4060 out. Right now I'm getting the flex plate out. I'm going to install the TCI plate. Like I said, it bolts to the LS crank, but it's got the converter bolt pattern of a turbo 350. It's got two different bolt patterns to be more of like a universal application, but it's got the most common torque converter bolt pattern for 350 and turbo 400. Well, an original 400 actually has 6 bolts. Same thing with a 6L80. But a lot of aftermarket converters, they actually went to a 3 bolt just because there's more of them, more common, I guess. So yeah, let me get this Frisbee out. There's our TCI flex plate. And it also comes with an adapter for the converter pilot because the ID is different than an LS, like an old school Turbo 350 and 400. I'll show you this little adapter here in a second. So here's our little adapter to allow the pilot of the torque converter to sit into the back of the LS crank. Yeah, so let me, yeah, it just goes on like that. Easy enough. All right, so here we've got the Turbo 400 beside the 4060. Just like in the diagram, the tow housing sticks out just about an inch, but the mounting point is actually further back on the 400. So I'm gonna have to make like a plate or something and extend it off the cross member backwards. Let's see, where's it at? Here and here. That's probably a good 2 inches. That's not too bad. But I'm gonna try and get the transmission in there, bolted up, and see if my drive shaft is gonna work. And probably call it quits for the day. Okay, so the 400 has these gigantic ears on the side of the transmission, and the passenger side is hitting the dang header. Driver's side is good. Driver's side has clearance. I got 1 bolt kind of halfway in there, but the passenger side, no good. I'm gonna have to cut off that ear, like right there in the middle. Just to get clearance from that header. So I think this is gonna be a wrap for a day. Tomorrow I'll chop that off, get it fitted, install the cross member, maybe work on a mount. See how this is the center of the cross member, that's about a couple inches back. So I'm gonna work on mounting that up, and then hope that my drive shaft works with my yoke that I picked out on Amazon.